Hello, everybody, and welcome to another show. How's it going? We are joined today with special guest Colleen McInnes. Say what's up.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Hey. And today we're going to check out the finals of some FA2 action. This event is brought to you by Dead Man Dis and our good friends over at the Christie Lake Conservation Area. Big shout out to Brad and all his crew. And wow, we're looking pretty good here. Not bad. First up, we got a few shots to kind of show off the course here. What do you expect to see today in the action, Colleen?
I think we're going to see a lot of amazing shots. I think this kind of play is really something that people want to see because this is more realistic to our skill level as humans. We're not Paul McBeth or Paige Pierce, so it's a lot more entertaining to see what you would do in a course as well. And this course is beautiful. It's technical, it's challenging. There's long holes, there's short holes. So we're going to see a lot of good action today. I hope quite a few birdies.
Awesome. Well, first up with the action, we've got Chantel Budinsky. She's hot on the tours today lately. She just kind of broke out into the scene. She's from Windsor. She's pushed her rating up almost to 900 now. What's been your experience so far with her?
Oh, she's crushing it out there. She's one to watch for sure.
Awesome. Next up is Jane Anderson-Renton. I really enjoyed filming with her. She's from Brampton, Ontario. Most positive human being I think I've ever got a chance to film.
Couldn't ask for a nicer person to play with. She's amazing.
Absolutely. And third up, is it Eavan? How do you pronounce her name? Eavan? Okay, so Eavan O'Brien?
Up to debate.
We'll have to check with her later. She's from Burlington.
Local Bronte member.
Mm-hmm. And rounding out our card is Chanell Rocco from Niagara Falls. She's the fiance of Jeremy Hewitt, one of the guys on our pro team.
And she's another up-and-coming. She's fantastic this year. She really excelled in her skill level, which is why she's on this lead card here.
Today we've got kind of two races. Chantel has just run away with this, sitting at +2. She's got about a 20-stroke lead. And then we've got +22 with two players, and finally a +26 to round it off. So we should have two races, bit of a battle for second and third, and we expect Chantel to take a victory out of here. Moving on to hole 1, we have a par 3, 230 feet. We're playing from the short tees. What do you expect to see in the action here?
This hole is particularly difficult with the sumacs on the left, so you're really wanting to stay in the fairway to give yourself that opportunity to get a birdie. Certainly we'll see a lot of players trying to keep it right, maybe a little too right, but it's way better than going left. We'll see what Chantel does here.
Looks like we got an end of a disc in her hand. I think this will be quite a shot. Let's see how she takes us.
These tie-dyes always fly so nice.
Mm-hmm. Big drive.
Look at that rip.
Nice hyzer.
And skip. Oh, park job. Beautiful drive.
And I think that's indicative of the golf we're going to expect from her today.
Yeah, I think that's a big factor with her having moved up so quickly lately. She is just crushing it. Very intimidating, I'm sure, for some of these players.
Next up is Jane. Good drive here, center of the fairway.
A little short. She wants it a little bit longer. I think she'll have a look at the basket, but it will be a tough one.
Okay, third up, Eavan with her drive.
Now, she might have rounded a little bit, but if she kept that a little higher, it could have turned out of it. So just a little bit more height.
And finally, Chanel's first drive here.
And she's finding that trouble I was talking about the sumacs. Let's hope that she's maybe on the edge, because if you go far in there, it's really tough to get out.
Okay, let's see what happens. Nice drive. Still trapped here in the woods. Does she have a putt? She's
just on the edge of the circle, so she will have a look, but those trees don't help being in your way when you're trying to straddle out. Oh, and Chanel was very lucky being on the edge there. I'm going to mix up that Chantel all day.
There I am popping out. Chanel really liked to throw really quick, so I was having to adapt to that. And I think I do that after a few holes.
I think that's just not being familiar with being filmed and, those nerves on hole 1.
Yeah, it's tough. And that's something to point out, too. All these ladies, this is the first time they had ever been on film, and they were absolute troopers to do that.
And they were so excited. I mean, it can be very intimidating, but it's nice to have players who are just excited to promote women's disc golf.
Here's Chantel with her first birdie up.
Just
pushes the score down to +1. Nice putt from Jane.
And that was for her par.
Excellent. Adam's just checking stuff out there a little bit.
Chanel looking a little disappointed in her first hole, but I'm sure she's just getting the focus on. and Eavan with the tap in there. So we're having Jane pull ahead right away on the first hole by 1 stroke. So it's going to be a battle for these 3. I think they're going to have really good competition out there with some of the challenging technical holes.
Cool. Let's see what happens. For this hole, we've got a clean birdie from Chantel, a couple of bogeys from Chanell and Eavan. I'm sure they wanted to do a little bit better than that. And Jane taking an early move out here with a good par. Oh, there you are, hiding in the hiding inside.
Peekaboo.
This beer is delicious. Hole 2, we got a par 3, 207 feet. This basically only has one strategy to tackle it. Is that correct?
Yeah, hit the gap down the middle. That's about it. It's very tough because the gap is so tightly wooded on the left side, and if you try to turn it over too much, you're in more trees. So it's a straight shot, which is one of the hardest in disc golf.
Well, let's see how these ladies tackle it. First up is Chantel with a drive.
Beautiful drive.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
We'll hope she can get the birdie from there.
Next up is Jane. Clean drive. Good kick for her.
You can see the amount of trees on the left side there. It's difficult when you get over there.
Eavan with a power shot. A little bit of a skip there.
But, you know, if you think about the last hole, again, a little low. She's got to get that elbow up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Just squeaking up the right from Chanel.
Oh, and it came out of it a little bit, so that's going to be a good look for her. She'll be outside the circle, but she'll have a little run at it.
All right, let's see what happens next. Nice upshot. Is she going for it here, or is this just a clean up shot?
I think that's a clean up shot. Yeah, and she parked it. She's not messing around.
That'll work.
So like I said, you can see how she's kind of in the middle of these trees, but making it work, hitting that gap.
Great shot.
Parking it for that par. All right. And a few tap-ins there. We'll see how Chantel does with her putt here.
And this is for birdie. Great shot.
Wow. And right off the bat, she's back at even. So you can see how skilled she is.
How tough is that to start off with a couple of birdies here?
I mean, it can go both ways, right? I've had sevens on hole 1 and had the round of my life, and then
Goodness.
You know, taking a birdie and just gone downhill from there. So I think it's all about your mental game.
These ladies are going to clean up. We'll move on, get ready for hole 3.
Very nice, and some good pars here.
Adam in the background. How's it going, buddy? Does a lot of work here up at the studio doing all our editing, so big shout out to him. Yet another birdie from Chantel. Jane, sadly, with a bogey to start off this particular hole, and a couple of pars to clean up from Eavan and Chanel. Ties it up at 23 over and 27 respectfully. Hole 3, par 3, 181 feet. This is a really cool hole because you've got this beautiful shot down the center. What's the strategies here?
Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's from the longs. So when you're on the short tee pad to the right, it is a little bit straighter at the basket and you don't have all that rough in your way. But, I mean, you're just, again, trying to do a line drive down the middle, slide it up there, because there's a hill behind you. You do not want to go long.
Clean drive, voids the trees.
Oh, that looks like an absolute park job.
Solid shot from Chantel. Definitely showing us the type of golf that she can play, and definitely deserves to move up.
Absolutely.
Eavan takes her drive.
I like this drive. She got her arm up there. She's not throwing it too low this time. That looks like a lot more confidence. She's getting comfortable.
Chanel takes an unfortunate tree hit.
And it looks like she went a little too far right there, but I got to tell you, that gap is small. It is not. Very nice. You kind of have a tree on both sides, and you really want to hit that middle part, so that is tough. You can see the poison ivy sign there. We've just had to recently put up there.
Is that real?
Yeah, there. It's just a little bit in the rough on the sides, and because there's so many hikers, they want to make sure everyone knows. So
Extra punishment if you don't stay on the fairway. Oh, an
that's that
unfortunate tree
natural
hit.
OB.
Definitely not something she wanted, but she takes it in strides. Jane with a nice upshot.
Good correction. I think they were in a very similar spot, and it's helpful to have someone go before you and see what not to do.
So as a camera guy, I've been working hard on my drug dealer look. What do you think?
Oh, you're selling it. Yeah. The drugs and the look.
Good upshot from Chanel. Jane for her putt here. Nicely done.
Nicely done. And that's another par. So Eavan and Jane just going back and forth here.
Chantel putting here for a birdie. Puts herself in a position for -1 now. Great job.
She is on a roll. That's a turkey?
Yep, 3 in a row.
Hey! Gobble, gobble.
Eavan with her par.
Oh, bogey.
And Chanel with a bogey.
Yeah. It's tough when you hit one of those trees. There's a lot of trees in Christie.
So we have a birdie from Chantel, a par from Jane, and a couple of bogeys from Eavan and Chanel.
And Chantel just getting that distance. It is a different game when you're able to park these kind of shots. They are still very far, but that gives you a huge advantage, puts the intimidation factor in there.
Hole 4, par 4, 263 feet. This hole plays a lot harder than the stats look.
Yes.
I find that first shot to be treacherous. How do you tackle it?
I think a lot of these players are going to be pretty much laying up to as top of the hill as they can get. It is, again, tightly wooded. This is just one of those courses where you got to be really technical. So, again, a straight shot, one of the hardest ones you can do. And you can see that little gap that Chantel took. It looks like she's a little in the rough, but she's actually going to have a straight look at the basket.
Next up is Jane. Holding her number 2 position on the pad, just fine.
Oh, and
Sneaks
she makes
through
the
trees.
gap.
Great shot. See, look at all the ladies with all the encouragement there.
You can hear all the cheering in the background.
Absolutely.
Oh, that
Eavan with a fortunate kick.
Oh, the double bounce.
A little plinko going on there. Still in the center of the fairway. We can work with that.
This is going to be a big turnover. And, she's on the fairway. That's still good. It is a par 4, so you are just wanting to kind of progress.
Ooh. Buried a little bit in the trees.
She did get a little bit of a lucky roll to get her closer, but it's going to be tough to get out of there.
Jane taking your time.
And that really is an ideal spot for you to land. And you can see she's outside the circle, but she's got a look at her 3 there. So, I mean, you can't complain.
Sitting in circle 2 there. Let's see what she does with that. Even just launches it. Fortunately hits a tree, but she had enough power to get all the way to the basket.
Sometimes if you throw it hard enough, it goes far enough.
Oh boy, and now we're just trapped inside these trees.
So like I was saying, she had a look at the basket. It's not too bad over there. The trees are spaced apart, but it's tough for your 2 there. And Chanel almost out of the tree.
Chanel working her way up. She's got a chance at a putt there. Great shot from Eavan. Just sets it up for a park. Makes her last putt simple. And Jane probably a little bit farther than she wanted to be.
Yeah, I think that'll be a tester for her. We'll see. And now that's one of the hardest shots on this hole. Being behind that giant tree, it's even bigger in person.
It's way bigger than it looks. Oh, what a
Great
beautiful
putt.
putt from Jane. There you go.
That was excellent.
She's got to be happy with that.
And she just showed you, just keep going forward, get down there, and you're gonna have a good score on this hole. It's tough though. You go left or right at all, and you're in the trees, in the schnarb.
I think Chanel's a little disappointed there.
Yeah.
Taking that route up the right. Very tough. Chantel with another birdie, just running a clinic on this course. Vaughn completes her putt. We'll clean these up and move on to the next hole.
A cool thing about this hole, if you see on the back tree there's a little string you pull, and it's got a bell on it to let the next card know that you're done.
That is cool. So we have a birdie here from Chantel, couple of pars from Jane and Eavan, and an unfortunate double bogey from Chanell. She's fallen back to plus 30, looking at plus 24 from Eavan. Jane with a slight lead at plus 23, and Chantel at minus 2 now. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No. She's certainly sending a message with this round. I think this whole tournament really making her name known for her out here in Ontario.
Hole 5, par 4, 311 feet. With the height, what does this play like? More like 350?
Yeah, at least. It's tough because the uphill. You're constantly having to drive uphill. I highly recommend throwing understable when you do that. But this initial tee shot, I mean, Chantel made that look so easy. It is challenging. You go in those trees on the left and the sumacs up there, and it's tough to get a shot up the hill. So you really want to turn it over, just like Jane did as well.
Jane with a fantastic shot, staying in the center of the fairway. That's 2 for 2 for both of these ladies. Ooh,
All
through
right.
the trees for Eavan.
Blitz
Stays
the
on the
trees.
fairway. Great shot. Last up is Chanel.
A nice safe shot. Sometimes that's the smartest thing to do.
Good course management definitely
Yeah.
helps.
Now you can't see the incline as it is in real person. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is steep. You're going up. How many feet you think you're going up? 20 feet? Maybe more?
Oh, probably more. And you could see even Eavan there overturning on her shot just to make sure she didn't go left there.
What kind of disc would you be using to tackle an incline like this?
I'm definitely going with my Truth, just because it's a little bit more understable. So it's going to kind of try and fight right a little bit more the whole way up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, understable is really key, but landing in that zone is tough. There's a little gully before the basket you don't want to be in, but if you go too far, there's bushes right in the circle.
Chantel and Eavan landing in circle 1, both looking at great putts here. Chanel with a wide stance.
Big stretch out there. That's tough.
Still probably more distance than she wanted to have.
But great accuracy. I mean, staying in the fairway is key.
Absolutely.
Oh, what a great run for Jane.
Jane with a fantastic upshot. Looks like a True North disc golf putter. Shout outs to her. Thank you.
I think that's the Wizard. One of my favorites.
One of my favorites, too.
Oh, what a shot! Woo!
Wow.
That was
Great
exciting.
putt from Chanel. Incredible.
know-
She's so happy she forgets to go get her disc.
She had to do some work for that, too. That stretch out she had makes that putt all the sweeter.
And we got a replay from Chanel, and much deserved. Look at this shot. Pure accuracy. Wow, what a bink off the edge of the basket. What do you think?
One of the biggest things for hyzer putts like that is distance control, and you can see she's got that down.
Nailed it. Next up, Eavan. Beautiful
Great
putt. Nicely done.
That rock definitely saved her from rolling further, so she's probably happy to have that.
She's definitely happy with that. Chantel for her putt. Beautiful job.
Amazing. I'm going to be honest, a 3 here is amazing.
Wow.
A 4, I'm still happy with. This hole is hard.
That's 5 birdies in a row. Is it going to stop?
Oh,
An unfortunate putt from Jane.
we've all had those.
That's okay.
You're so close, you think you can just toss it in there and got to commit every time.
And that's the end of hole 5. 5th birdie in the row from Chantel. An unfortunate bogey from Jane. She deserved better.
She
and a
did.
couple of fantastic pars. A huge putt from Chanel. She's got to be proud of that. What do you think?
Oh, of course. And it's keeping her in it, right? She's really having to fight for these, so hopefully we'll see her make a few more good putts like that.
And Eavan makes up a stroke. Both tied now for 2nd place.
It's funny, you know, how many holes you play and you still end up tied.
Mm-hmm. Hole 6, par 3, 342 feet. I've noticed with this open area, the wind is a big factor. Today it was relatively quiet. How's that going to play out here?
I think sometimes actually a lot of people are scared of wind. It can really help you get the distance that you need to go. A lot of these women are throwing understable discs to get that distance, so we'll see, if that turns over a little too much, but...
Look at this shot.
I mean, that was just pure, straight, beautiful shot. I have to say, I've seen Chantel park this hole. Absolutely park it. So I know she can go further than that. And that's where you're going to see a lot of players land, is partially up the hill, which makes a hard second shot, but you do want to get as much distance as you can.
All these ladies pulling out all the stops, trying to get the farthest possible progression they can.
And it's interesting. I think they're taking these shots where they're kind of hyzering out. You might think a little too early, because we are all used to such winds here.
Jane's taking a different route up the right side. Is that better?
I think so. You could see her disc flex out a little bit there. The hill's not as steep on the right side. So you have a little bit of a better angle at it, but it is also blocked by that bush on the right. So she's going to have an interesting upshot, but I think closer is always better, right?
Big shot from Chanell.
And that is a death putt if I've ever seen one.
Still looking at, about 50 feet there? Maybe a little less?
Yeah, I think circle 2.
Jane on her second shot.
So you can see how she's almost up the hill. She can actually see the flag. So that's what I mean about positioning. Although, she's in those bushes, she'll have a little pitch up there, or maybe even a putt.
Chantel with a drive here into the bushes.
And despite what that looks like, a lot of people aim for that bush tree on the right, because it does smack you down. It's not very wide. You end up just putting your foot in there and you have a little putt. And unfortunately, Eavan went a little too deep, and it ends up an uphill putt, which is nice.
A tree is not your friend today. This is a great shot. She should have a good view, and it's a lot better to putt from below, isn't it?
Yeah, and with all that risk she had, that was a great shot. That was a good pitch out from Jane. Unfortunate getting right behind some of those trees, but you got to take your medicine.
Jane with a big putt. Takes the safe route, lays it up.
Yeah, sometimes just got to take your medicine.
Chantel hiding in the bushes, going for her next shot. Oh, and a terrible miss.
But you can see what I mean. She had a great idea about going into that bushy tree, and she had an opportunity at it. Oh, an unfortunate hit down there.
That's okay. When you've got 5 birdies in a row, sometimes you got to give up a stroke here and there. Chanel with a great putt, throws up the praying hands.
This Bell City is delicious.
Shout outs, guys, to Bell City. They're a brewery right next door to us. They make fantastic local beers, and they've been a big supporter of us right since the beginning. So thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
Yeah, a good tap in for her bogey there.
Chantel loses her streak, but she will battle on.
I think no matter what happens the rest of the round, I'd be pretty happy with 5 birdies in a row.
Absolutely. After hole 6, we've got 2 bogeys and 2 double bogeys. Is this a common result? Was this hole playing hard that day?
It's funny, because you would think that the hole previous would be harder, even hole 4. So It's interesting, but like I said, that having a hill behind the basket is a huge factor when people are doing their upshots and their putts. Really can intimidate you out of being confident in your shot. What's that, Cam?
Cam just falls on the ground. We're looking at hole 7, par 3, 244 feet. We have OB here on the left, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and how much of a factor is that in this shot?
I think because this hole is downhill, it can be a factor in where you end up releasing your disc. You really want to release it right and have it hyzer in. You really don't want to mess with that OB at all. It's just one of those ones where it's like, I had so much room on the right, why didn't I go there? And that's exactly what you'd want to see from a drive. Right at those trees on the right, skip on in there.
Chantel with a beautiful drive, right inside circle 1. Pretty confident she can take care of that.
Yeah.
Next up is Chanel. Moved up in the pad position.
Oh, but these sumacs kick her out.
Ooh, an unfortunate shank to the right.
She probably won't be too bad in there, but definitely gonna have a tough out.
Eavan, big drive. Looks like she's following suit here. Oh, stays on the fairway.
All right, but you can see how far right they're going. They really don't want to mess with that OB.
And finally, Jane.
A beautiful drive. Let's see if it stays in. Excellent.
Solid shot.
And that's going to be so nice because when you're that far away, yeah, you have a run at it, but you're going to have an easy 3, which is ideal.
Look at the shot. Not bad. It's actually well executed.
Yeah, and that kind of out, you're pretty happy with that.
Eavan, same thing. Make sure her third shot's not going to be too tough.
I love the effort there. You can see her legs swinging around and everything, whole body into it.
Sometimes you have to commit.
Good bid from Jane.
Good run there. Chantel for 2. Let's see if she can get her birdie strike rolling again. Oh, an unfortunate bounce out on the basket. Excellent shot from Chanell.
She's got her praying hands up today.
Throws that up a second time.
She's thanking somebody for that one.
And Jane cleans up her par.
Textbook par from Jane. Very nice.
I think we're in sync now.
Getting in the flow.
Cleans up her 3. So how you doing? Are you enjoying doing commentary?
Oh, this is wonderful. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than watching amazing disc golf. And it's so nice to see women's coverage.
And look at this. We got a star par across the board. One of our goals here at True North is to bring more coverage across, not just the MPO, but also focus on FPO and the MP40s and 50s, and definitely cards that don't normally get covered like FA2, FA1. Moving on to hole 8, par 3, 240 feet. This is a deceptively difficult hole. How do you think these ladies will tackle it?
I think that staying safe in the middle is the best shot here. It's a very technical hole. It actually looks like you need to turn a disc over, but it's very straight. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people get psyched out by that. So the flexing a disc to get distance isn't going to help them here. They're going to need to just make sure they're staying in the fairway.
Let's see how they do it. Drive.
And that's what I'm saying. Flexing the disc to get that extra power is tough because you're going into the trees on the right there.
Looks like Chantel got buried there a bit in the right. Chanell with a much better route stays on the fairway. Still got 50 plus feet to go. Eavan with a low hard drive. Roughly the same spot.
Yeah, about the same spot. I think the right side can often be a lot better. Mm-hmm. But the left side, at least you can see the basket a little bit more.
And Jane with an unfortunate shank on the right side. Let's see how she deals with this.
So there is a tunnel gap there if you can make it. She looks like she popped out there.
Mm-hmm. Good shot. Gets back on the fairway.
Oh, and you can see the tunnel shot here from Chanell. I don't know if she'll take it, but she's doing the Annie.
Chantel with a tree hit.
But she will be just outside the circle. She'll have a putt there.
Long putt for 3. Eavan is not playing around. Huge shot here. Great skip. She's got to be happy with that.
I think she's gotten back to her playbook.
Absolutely.
This is what you want from the course. Play safe, play pars. Take them when you get them.
Yeah, another safe shot here right across the ground. Jane's going for it.
And I like her bids because her distance control is great. She's giving it a run, but not so much that she's not going to make the comebacker.
Chantel with a great bid.
Good bid. You know, sometimes it can be hard when you're on a roll with putts at the beginning, or, you don't even have to putt because you keep parking it. Mm-hmm. It can be tough to get that putting going, get that confidence back. Nice. Good putt from Eavan.
Cleans it up. Chantel for her 3. Great shot.
Nice shot. I think that was a bogey because she went to that right and then hit that tree. Tough break. It's one of those holes where you're just like, what am I doing? Get back to the game plan. And you could see, like, Chanel had a great putt on the last hole, and you still have nerves the very next hole putting. It never goes away. So all you new players out there, it never stops. You just learn to deal with it.
Right in the background, too, you can see there, Chris, just for a second. Oh, I'm limping. It's been a long day for me.
The old man limp going.
Man, I had been filming so much over the course of those couple of weeks that I was starting to get sore. My feet were killing me. 3 bogeys and a par from Eavan. Just takes a stroke from the whole field. Well done.
Yeah, you guys have been really pushing it. Filming everything you can, every card you can, maxing out. It's going to be great for Ontario.
It's exhausting, but you know what? I love it. And last up, hole 9, par 3, 202 feet. What's the strategy here? This looks like a pretty simple hole. Am I missing something?
Part of the problem is that it starts to go downhill, and so you misjudge the distance. A lot of people will end up short on this hole, and I think I like putting uphill a little bit more, so overshooting the basket's always better.
Eavan with a power drive.
Not one of those holes you have to worry about left and right too much, so you can really kind of go anywhere, just get that distance right.
Just looks like maybe inside, maybe just outside circle 1.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Chantel. Clean release, big hyzer. Is it going to come back left? Just on the fairway.
She'll have a nicer kind of side look at it.
Chanel lining up her shot. Probably a little more left than she wanted to be.
But good distance. She'll still have a look at the basket.
Jane with a textbook shot.
Beauty. And staying in the fairway, that's really nice. I think they're going to have a lot of tough putts with this downhill, but you know, we'll see who the smart players are and lay up and who the risky ones are and go for it.
Chanel with a solid layup. Next up is Jane.
Oh, that was a good bid.
Oh no, a terrible roll. Okay, not bad, not bad. We can work with that.
I mean, that hill keeps going. I'm surprised it stopped.
That is the shameless plug for the True North Disc Golf Wizard. Next up is Eavan. Oh, with a huge putt.
But I like the commitment. That was committed.
Chantel for her birdie. And an unfortunate basket hit.
What a line, though. She was dead on there. Oh, and a tough... That rollaway can really psych you out. I know I had a bad few rounds after I had some really bad rollaways.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that impresses me about filming these ladies is they always have a positive attitude. Is this indicative of what you're going to see when you play FA2?
Absolutely. I think these women, more than anyone else, are coming out to have fun. A lot of these women, you know, they want to get better, they want to win, they want to do well, but the majority of them are out there for the social aspect. And I think having a social outlet, somewhere you could just go and let off steam and chat and laugh and dance and sing, it's so much fun. I think anyone looking to kind of get into disc golf and maybe compete more and you're on the fence, you should know FA2 is so welcoming. These women, some of them have been doing it for years, some of them are brand new, and they're all just out there to have fun. Very encouraging women.
Awesome. 3 pars here and a bogey. And what would you say to ladies that are on the fence on whether or not they want to come out and play an event?
I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is you laugh too much and have a sore stomach. Let's be real. The scores really don't matter in the end. I mean, you remember good shots and bad shots, but how often do you really remember a whole entire round? Mm-hmm. You're just out there hole by hole just trying to enjoy it. And I think if you're on the fence and looking to kind of get into disc golf, try out some flex starts, go to your local club, go play doubles, play a doubles tournament, and hook up with some women. There's some great clubs around here.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. There is the end of the front 9 of the finals here. And I just want to take just a quick moment to say thank you to everyone that shops at our retail store. We do run that shop for profit, but we do use the money to invest in things like filming events and supporting our pro team, sponsoring tournaments, and so on. So thank you so much for your support. And if you have an opportunity to like or subscribe our channel, it goes a long way in helping us show that advertisers can invest their money in our direction. So thank you so much for supporting us. Any last words for this half of the round?
I gotta say, well done, ladies. I know some of you were nervous. That was excellent. I can't wait to see the back nine. I hope you guys stay tuned for the last part of our footage.
Awesome, guys. Well, let's stay tuned and we'll watch the back nine. Thank you so much.